Yeah, that's the description of the harlot, the whore, America in Revelation the 17th chapter, the first part of it, the first 5 or 6 verses of it, and then which is all encompassed by NATO riding, America riding on the harlot, on the beast, the golden cup in the hand, and so on and so forth for this breakdown. You can go right on to greatmillstone.info to get the full breakdown and to get this sign to have the full breakdown of the image. All right, so let's go back to the script. This is a major prophecy. This is in the book of Revelation. This is one of the last prophecies that have to come to pass um, for our salvation. This is the hope and the faith and the patience of the saints, right? Anyway, start at verse 7. It says, "And the angel said unto me, Wherefore didst thou marvel? I will tell thee the mystery of the woman and of the beast that carrieth her, which that has 7 heads and 10 horns." When you go into that image that I was just showing you, you'll see what that is. It says, "The beast that thou sawest was and is not, and shall ascend out of the bottomless pit, out of Europe." America was spawned out of Europe. It says, "And go into perdition. And they shall dwell on the earth. They that dwell on the earth shall wonder, whose names were not written in the book of life from the foundation of the world, when they behold the beast that was and is not and yet is." Going into the image in Daniel, from you know, the gold to the silver to the bronze and down into the iron and miry clay of the feet, and that's this generation now. The Roman Empire, and then the rebirth of the Roman Empire, and yet is. It says, and here is the mind that has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains or governments on which the woman sitteth. Go into the image real quick, just so you get a visual of it. These are those 7 nations right there. 7 heads that the woman sitteth on. 7 governments or kingdoms ruled by Esau. The Greeks, the Brits, Germania Minor, the Spanish, the French, the Romans, Germania Major, right? Um, See here at Great Millstone, man, you're gonna get the full scope of everything, man. You're gonna get everything. Whether you get it all in one video or not, you can go to Great Millstone and get the full breakdown of everything. You go on greatmillstone.info, you can look up the videos and get them in whatever language. You can get them in whatever camp, whatever city, but you're going to get the full breakdown. Whether it's from the apostles or the elders or the other camps scattered across the 4 corners of the earth, you're going to get the full breakdown. You ain't got to go pay for it and do all this other stuff to do it and not knowing. No, you're going to get everything. Because all of these other groups out there, they're not going to give you this breakdown because they're too busy trying to build an America. They don't want to see America destroyed, even though the scriptures have said this. They don't go into prophecy. They're trying to bring all black people together and have a kingdom inside of a kingdom and all of that. Have a righteous kingdom inside of Esau's wicked kingdom. That don't even make sense. Continuing on back, anyway, it says, and there, back in verse 10 says, "And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is, and the other is not yet come. And when he cometh, he must continue a short space." If I remember that breakdown. Um, I don't remember it. Rome, yeah, that was, oops, like, but I believe that was Rome, and then it became America. Anyway, continuing on, it's like if I don't have that part right, but a lot of these breakdowns were from years ago. Um, anyway, it says, "And the beast that was and is not, even he is the eighth, and is out of the 7, and goeth into perdition." Right? "And the 10 horns which thou sawest are 10 kings, which have received no kingdom as yet, but receive power as kings 1 hour with the beast." They all had their chance to rule in their certain situations under the beast. Yeah, 13. These have one mind and shall give their power and strength unto the beast. When they created NATO, the EU, and all that superpower, that's all the beast. And America's that number one sword, so to speak, um, stick, the military on the earth that does this, but they're all going to turn on. Now let's go into I want verse 18. I almost forgot. In verse 18 says, and the woman which thou sawest is the great city. That great city is America, which reigned over the kings of the earth. The other kings of the earth, it was ruling NATO, because that's part of what's going on. All these deals that they've been making, they've been double crossing everybody on deals, not making good on their financial deals. So, but they ruled over these, because they ruled over. That's why they said the American president is the leader of the free world. You know, because um they rule everything. If you oppose America, guess what? You now can go and bomb whoever. And that's the prodigious ways of so-called white men, regardless if it was a dark-skinned Obama over there, or red-skinned uh, Donald Trump, or any president before them, with that same mind and that same agenda, right? So let's go back. I think I finished that up in Joel. So I'm gonna close out with Revelation 18. Um, yeah, I believe I'm gonna close out with this. It says, yeah, because America will be destroyed that way, and all those places where that beast is at will be destroyed. And this is the prophecy here. I'm gonna start verse 1. Might as well. It says, and after these I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and become the habitation of devils. And that habitation of devils just means desert creatures, man. It's not saying that where the devils are going to live after. No, there's nobody that's going to inhabit this land of America ever again. Those are desert creatures. And the hold of every foul spirit, those, and the cage of every unclean and hateful bird. And it's going to be a sign of the power of Yahweh Bashim Shai upon the earth. So it's going to be a memorial, so to speak, of what happens when the world goes wicked, is ruled by the wicked, and the wicked two-thirds that were destroyed there. Just like ancient Egypt was a mighty sign of what happened to the earth in the ancient world, this will be a sign of what happens for the newer one in these newer times of what happens. Anyway, verse 3, it says, and all the nations have drunk the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Yeah, all these other nations have made deals with America and got rich off America, and went in and partaken in wars with America, so on and so forth, right? And got rich off it. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, her people Israel, come out of her, that ye be not partakers of her sins, that ye not receive not of her plagues. Those plagues are the missiles, man. Those plagues are the missiles. You know, when come out of her, get beamed up into these chariots. The elect will get beamed up into the chariots of the Most High in safety from those missiles, the plagues of those missiles. Right? It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven. Literally, they're out in space doing wickedness in space. There's trash. Esau's trying to search out the heavens. We're not supposed to be in space like that, in those heavens. Trying to find where the Most High is at in heaven. You're not supposed to be up there like that. We're not supposed to be creating space stations with Elysium and so on and so forth up there. That's not supposed to be going on. That wickedness, and then the wickedness in nature of man upon the earth has gotten to the point where it's reached up to the Most High God. It said, and the Most High has remembered her iniquities. He remembered, reward her, even as she rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, in the cup which she has filled to her double. In the cup which she has filled to her double. And so Esau's going to get a double portion of that cup, man. That cup of slavery, that cup of We've been over 500 years in this captivity, right? And he's gonna get 1,000 on the other side. Right? It says, how much has she, how much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously, so much torment and sorrow give her. For she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. Yeah, when you go into the landmass, where is it at? To the landmass of America. Let me see. It's not the one I want. Slovakia is right here. You go into the landmass of America. It's surrounded by water. Keeps trying to give me this etymology online. I don't know why, but anyway, um, I said a queen. I'm untouchable. You know, America really felt like they're untouchable in this thing. But with the invention of the Smith, the ICBM missiles, you know, it'll be it's gonna be able to be touched from a different continent. Because if anybody tried to catch a ship as previous wars would, catch a ship over here, or they didn't have big enough planes to fly over here without being detected with radar and so on and so forth. You know, but now they can just shoot the missiles, and once the missiles are shot, can't turn them back around. You know, I said a queen because of all that water protection, that moat, so to speak, around it. It couldn't be touched. And I have the best army, and I have a moat of protection around me. I can do whatever I want. That's the pride of the so-called white man of Esau, and that's the pride of America. You know, played out in that. So let's go back to the scripture. It says, "For she saith in her heart, in her mind, I sit a queen and am no widow. You know, I won't see death." It says, "And shall see no sorrow." And here's a major part of it. It says, um, uh, "Therefore shall her plagues come in one day." Her complete destruction is going to come in one day. Death and mourning and famine, and she shall burn, be utterly burned with fire. So from those missiles, man. Death and mourning and famine. There's going to be no more food. All this is going to happen in one day. It says, "For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her." Yep. Did I want to go? Stop there. No, I'm gonna keep going. It says, "And the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail and lament for her when they shall see the smoke of her burning." Yeah, because they know they can't make that money no more. This is a major something going on in the earth, man. If you watch the brother Ariel from Dallas, his algorithm, World War III algorithm videos, man, this puts you on full point of every little detail that I didn't go into today. Every little detail that's going on. That brother goes in thoroughly with those algorithm videos. So check those out. Um, I believe it's Dallas in Class is what he puts them up under. Anyway, it says, yeah, "And all the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her, for they shall see the smoke of her burning." That's that same smoke. Go back into the image. That's that same smoke that's gonna that's gonna blot out the sun and be the day of darkness, man. That's that same smoke. They're gonna see the pillar of smoke coming from America and be like, oh, they're gonna feel the tremble in the earth. It's gonna be so great, and they're gonna look over to the west or the east, depending on where you're from, but the west, and see the big pillar of smoke of America being destroyed. You know, that's all of that, man. And then that darkness is also gonna hit them. The fact that, oh man, who am I gonna sell all my stuff to? Who's gonna buy all my BS? You know, it should say that. Yeah, it says, verse 10, "Standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, aka America, aka Egypt, aka Nineveh." Nineveh was known for its army, right? AKA Sodom and Gomorrah, that would destroy with brimstone, right? It says, "That mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come." Yeah, because it only takes less than an hour for the missiles to get here. by the time the destruction, maybe 30 minutes or so, I think they said, to get over here from the other continents. So from the time they're shot off into the time it's completely destroyed, within an hour, America will be out of there. That superpower of the earth will be out of there, man. And to wrap it up, this guy, right? Well, let me hit that image. I almost forgot about it. On to these nuclear bombs right quick. Come on, come on, phone. A lot going on. I brought up a lot of these nuclear bomb images. Let's see if it could. Technology still getting. I know I got a lot of footage on here from this video. But anyway, come on, come on. All right, here we go. Images, right? Look at the names that it had: America, North Korea, Russia, China. Those are the names of the countries that have these nuclear bombs. But as some of these images, this is it right here. This is it. This is that mushroom cloud. This is that smoke. Imagine 200,000 um, missiles being dropped over here. You know, how much smoke is that going to be? This is what you'll see. This is what you'll see, right? They got the Satan 2 and all of that. This is what you'll see. Russia got that missile, man. This is what you'll see. A bombs and whatnot. Technology spawned all of that. This is what you'll see. Different levels of bombs. This is what it is now. Let's go back right quick. Go back to the top of videos and look what pops up. Russia's Satan 2. He made a point. It says down here, it says Russia reveals super nuke Satan 2. I can't see what it says it has the power to do, but yeah, I believe it has the power to go across the sea and nuclear capability. Yeah, man, this is no joke. This is no joke, man. You guys out there not in these other Israelite groups, man, that's not pushing this out to the people. You're not properly doing the work of the Heavenly Father. You're not warning the people of what's coming to pass. You're not telling them that you get your spirit right for this, because there's no physical anything you can do to save your flesh from this thing, man. I'm gonna close out with the image of this guy right here, man. So this was the first movement. This was the first movement right here, in creating that whole world's war. But Trump sending that over there, whether Assad choked out the lives of helpless men, women, and children. Yeah, that's all gravy, man. That's all good. It's all good, and early acts of war, so on and so forth. You know, but this all is gonna play right into the hands of the Most High. You know. Matter of fact, if I go into one more script, gotta do it. The spirit's still moving. One more script, and I'm gonna close. I'm gonna go into Ezekiel, the 9th chapter. This is the final warning of it right here. Start around the 4th verse. It says, Ezekiel 9:4 says, the Lord Yahweh said unto him, go through the midst of the city, talking about the angel, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. That mark right there is the mark of exemption. It's not the mark of the beast, it's the mark of exemption. Because if you take that mark of the beast, you're for sure going to take place in those missiles, right? So how do you get out of that? Go through the city and set up through the midst of Jerusalem, through the nation of Israel, right? The Negro, Latino, Native American, scattered across the 4 corners of the earth, that have the spirit of an Israelite on them or in them, so to speak. It says, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst thereof. And by the way, the key to that mark, or that mark of exemption, is the name Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, man, and all the belief and understanding that comes with that. That's part of that mark of exemption. Anyway, verse 5 says, but the full sincerity and belief of it, because Many you say, Lord, Lord, I prophesy in thy name and will not make it, right? Anyway, verse 5 said, and go to the others, he said, in mine hearing. This is everybody else. Go ye after him through the city and smite, kill. Let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, maids, both maids and little children. That's what Assad did, and that's what these missiles are going to do. They're going to slay everybody. Everybody that doesn't have that mark of exemption is going to slay you, or is going to take those other heathens that are not in the areas to be slain into captivity. You know, it says, slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary, at my own people. Then they began at the ancient men which were before the house. Yeah, man. Yeah, it said, and he said unto them, defile the house and fill the courts with the slain. Go ye forth, and they went forth and slew in the city. Yeah, man. So this thing is going down, man. You guys don't understand how big this day was, man. Talking about I believe it was the 6th, April the 6th, 2017. It was big, man, because everything that happens from when Assad did it, I believe on like the 4th, all the way up until the 6th, where he sent back the 50 missiles, to what Russia does next, on and on and on. It's just further fulfilling the prophecy. We're just watching the details now on how it plays out, but the overall big picture, you just read the prophecy of it, and how this world's war was going to go from simple war to long range missiles, because a lot of you don't think America can be touched. Well, in this video, I've just shown you how America can be touched with intercontinental ballistic missiles. And these are the opening stages of this Third World War, of this prophecy being fulfilled, which also leads to the chariots and the elect coming out of it, and the martial law and the mark of the beast. All these things are going to happen, man. And not necessarily in that order, but these things are going to happen. And they're all written within the Bible. So it will behoove you, if you're an Israelite, and this word sparks something within your spirit, for you to wake the hell up, man. Because we're at that 11th hour right now. We're in that 11th hour right now. You know. So with that, I'm gonna close out. I'm gonna say, Call halal Yahweh Shim Shai, Rakatah Yahweh, Rakatah Yahweh Shai, Rakatah Yahweh, Rakatah Yahweh Shai, Rakatah Yahweh, Rakatah Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone who ruled well, that taught us this truth, and that through the Spirit of Yahweh Shema Shai gave us this truth and gave us these full breakdowns in sincerity and in fear, so that we can learn through their examples how to fear for Yahweh Shema Shai and how to appease Yahweh Shema Shai. Greetings, salutations, and blessings unto the hopeful elect, the house of David, that's doing this work in sincerity. We almost out of here, bro. We almost out of here in Aquath that believe. We're almost up out of here, man. This is one more step closer, right? Let's go. Let's go, champ. With that, to the elect, I say shalom.